What is up, guys? It's me, the ALE Double X Prince, and I am here to give you my predictions for NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, as well as WrestleMania. Now, I didn't watch Raw last night, but I do kind of got the idea of some of the stuff that happened. And I did find out that a lot of the matches that I thought were going to happen at Mania are not going to happen. So, for starters, on SmackDown, we're getting Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode versus the Street Profits versus Rey and Dominic Mysterio versus the Alpha Academy, aka Chad Gable and Otis. And I can't believe they're doing this on free TV. Like, I'm not gonna say that like all the names there are big names, but think about it. Dolph and Otis had their first singles matches at WrestleMania last year. Mysterio had probably, despite having a terrible feud with Seth Rollins, it was definitely the storyline that put Dominic on the mat. So I figured because they want to push Dominic Mysterio, they're gonna put him at Mania, and then the Street Profits, which is honestly, me personally, the best tag team of last year. It's like, I think naturally there's a good chunk of superstars here that deserve to be on the Mania card, and no, we're not doing that, which is very upsetting. I really wanted to see these guys compete and get their WrestleMania moments, even though they were all going to be just crammed together. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe down the road they're gonna like put it at the last minute at WrestleMania. I would love to see these guys compete at WrestleMania, but I understand why they're doing it. As far as who I think is gonna win that match, it's going to be it's easily gonna be the Mysterios. It's just literally the story is right there, the Mysterios. And then now that I think about it, if the Mysterios wins, does this mean that we're gonna get Dolph and Rude versus the Mysterios at WrestleMania? Like, I don't know what the hell they're doing, but we're getting that match, and it seems like it could be a fun match for SmackDown. And also, the Andre Battle Royal is gonna be on SmackDown. Based on like who's available, like around that, I don't know who's in the Battle Royal, but if it were up to me, I would have Keith Lee return and win that. Put Big E back on the market because if he's available, I don't know if he's clear to compete, but if I had it my way, I would have Keith Lee win. And plus, it's not going to be on the pre-show; it's going to be on a SmackDown, so there's that to be excited about. Um, let's see what to do next. We'll do the NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver card. I've not seen the card. I have not focused on anything NXT related in a while, but here is the card. So for night one, we have Pete Dunne versus Kushida in a random singles match. I really don't give a shit. I'm sorry, I just don't. I like both these guys, but when you just put them like for no reason there, it kind of devalues it. But it should be a fun little match. My prediction is going to be Pete Dunne because Pete Dunne is a great heel and he's done some of the best work he's done since his UK run. This is the honest truth. His Broserweight could have gone somewhere. His Broserweight storyline with Matt Riddle, it could have gone somewhere, but unfortunately, due to the circumstances, it didn't work out. Too bad. Walter, yes, NXT UK champion Walter is going to defend that belt against Tommaso Ciampa. Now this is exciting. This looks like a random thrown together dream match, but I don't give a shit. We need the biggest matches possible if NXT is gonna survive. From what I hear, the Wednesday night wars are over, and they're gonna do. They're gonna move to Tuesdays, which honestly, it's about fucking time. With that said, it's gonna take a while for NXT to recover, and it looks like they're trying. That is what I respect. That they are trying to do the best possible to entertain us, and they proved it with this match. But honest to God, I have not given a shit about Tommaso Ciampa since he got squashed by Karrion Kross. I just don't care about the guy anymore. He's just like, I personally wish he just retired because I know he's not gonna go to WWE, SmackDown, or Raw. Um, but yeah, I mean, sometimes you just need to know when your story is done on certain shows. Like Tommaso Ciampa could go to the main roster if he chooses to, but no. So yeah, I'm going with Walter, and hopefully this ends Tommaso Ciampa's career. Not that I want him to end his career or destroy him, but like I rather see a Tommaso Ciampa that's motivated and is on a correct direction than this. Plus, it will make Walter look good, and I think they're gonna do a UK special again, and I'm guessing they want Walter for that, and I'm pretty sure that's when he'll drop the belt. That's what I personally prefer. So Walter versus Ciampa, it could be a good match. It could be a squash match. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I'm definitely excited for it. 6-man gauntlet eliminator match to determine the number one contender for the NXT North American Championship on night 2. I actually like that they're doing this because, honest to God, there's nobody left for Johnny Gargano to fight. So, what better way to mesh these guys up than put them together and show off these like new players to the game. Leon Ruff, who I don't like. I think he's just a jobber who got lucky at the right place at the right time. Isaiah Swerve Scott, if you guys know me, I'm on mark for Lucha Underground. So I like this guy. Remember Killshot? That guy was awesome. Bronson Reed, I like his style. Thick boy. He's just literally, I mean, he's essentially Bam Bam Bigelow. And hell, at TakeOver 30, he even gave tribute to the guy. So Bronson Reed, I like this guy. Cameron Grimes, he is a good character, good wrestler. Trust me, if he goes to Raw or SmackDown, they're gonna treat him like a god. But then we're gonna like get tired of him pretty soon. Similar to Elias, Nia Jax, because at one point people liked Nia Jax, but then she became not the fucking dumb injury prone fat bitch. Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin was awesome at one point. Remember that? So Cameron Grimes, I'm afraid that he's gonna be the next one on the line with those people, like people that we like, but then they just go to shit. So pray that Cameron Grimes doesn't do that. Dexter Loomis, who I'm predicting could win. I don't like Dexter Loomis. I never did. I don't get it. He is trying to be like Dexter from the TV series with a mix of Steve Austin. He looks like a young Steve Austin, but that's not a compliment. That's more of an insult. Uh, I mean, everybody knows that who Steve Austin is, but no one's. I don't care about this character. And he's a face. Like, get the fuck out of here. I personally wish he was just a heel. Like, he looks like a heel. How's this guy a fucking baby face? Like, sometimes you just need to know who's a face and who's a heel. But who I predict is gonna win, who I really want to win, is L.A. Knight, Eli Drake. If you're going to establish a brand new superstar, what better way than to have him win the gauntlet match? Hell, you could have someone like a Bronson Reed or an Isaiah Swerve Scott go the distance, and then have L.A. Knight come through the back and just roll him up 1, 2, 3, and then he's fresh, like he didn't get that many injuries. So then we do Gargano and L.A. Knight. I'm going for L.A. Knight. It's gonna take a while to call him that. I'm still gonna call him Eli Drake probably, but I'm actually going for LA Knight. If you're gonna build a brand new character who is a good mouthpiece and he's a good player, and I'll explain why I want him to win when we get to his match with Gargano. MSK, Grizzled Young Veterans, and Legados del Fantasma in a triple threat tag team match for the vacant NXT Tag Team Championships. Only Lorcan and Danny Burch. I don't know who got injured, but I kind of feel bad for those guys because those guys have been busting their asses off to be here. Kind of surprised Breezango's not in this making it a fatal forward, but that's fine. This could honestly be the match of the night for this show. It really did, because MSK and Grizzled Young Veterans stole the show last week, and you'd imagine if MSK is gonna win the Dusty Rhodes Classic, they're probably going to win the tag belts here. They could do that, but for me personally, I want the Grizzled Young Veterans to win. I like these guys a lot. I thought they were gonna be the ones to dethrone the Broserweights last year. Um, these guys should totally win him. And then if you want MSK to get the redemption, they could honestly stretch this feud out for the rest of the takeovers because the tag team division here sucks, and these two teams themselves could benefit and help the tag team division out. Legados del Fantasma, they're good, but they remind me too much of the Singh brothers, like a Latino version of the Singh brothers, and that's not a compliment either. But they're good, they're just not great. If that makes sense. And then the main event, apparently the main event for night one is going to be Io Shirai versus Raquel Gonzalez. And oh, I hope Raquel doesn't win. Like, she is so generic as fuck. And it would suck for Io Shirai to lose it this way. But I understand. I think Io Shirai is main roster ready. Honestly, God, she's main roster ready. She has proven. I got to be honest. Io Shirai is better than Asuka. And I'm not just saying this for the sake of the of how Asuka's been booked. If you've looked at her from freaking 2018, 2017, she has done great work with the Mae Young Classic. She is just a massive workhorse. She is a fantastic heel, so much so that she just naturally became a face, and then she became a badass even more. Io Shirai has been the best part of NXT, and even though she's probably gonna lose the belt on this show, at least I could say Io Shirai had a legit run, and she was the best part of NXT last year, by far. So even though I hate to say it, but Raquel's going over. So that's my predictions for night one. Night two, Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart versus The Way, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell. I can't believe they did NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. Why the fuck didn't they just take the belts off from Shayna and Nia and then make those belts the official NXT Women's Tag Team Championships? Like, those belts could have benefit from being on NXT. Like, they really could have, and it would have helped out a lot of the women's division. I don't care about this match. I really don't. I like Ember Moon. I like Candice LeRae. Shotzi Blackheart needs some work, and Indy Hartwell. I don't have no idea who the fuck this is. Yeah, I really don't know who the fuck this is. But if I had to predict, I'm guessing Ember and Shotzi are gonna keep him just for now. But I could be wrong. Who knows? Jordan Devlin versus Santos Escobar for the interim NXT Cruiserweight Championship, for the official Cruiserweight Championship. I'm shocked it took this long because I know for a while Jordan Devlin could have traveled to America and have this match, but they took forever to give us this match. But we're finally getting it. Santos Escobar, Jordan Devlin for the undisputed NXT Cruiserweight Championship. This could be a fun match. Santos Escobar was been kind of dull as cruiserweight champion. Honest to God, that's how I feel. He had some good matches with Isaiah Swerve Scott. His storyline with Drake Maverick worked for the time being, but Jordan Devlin has done better matches and has a better workhorse. And I think they want to give him the legit run that he deserved last year. So my prediction is Jordan Devlin. Johnny Gargano versus the Gauntlet Eliminator winner. Like I said, I think it's going to be LA Knight. But a lot of people have complained that Johnny Gargano has been a terrible heel. He's gotten better. I'll say this. He's gotten better from what I've seen. Not great, but yeah, he's definitely gotten a little bit better. But what a way to do the double turn. LA Knight cheats to win, beats Johnny Gargano, making Johnny Gargano a face, and then he'll work his way up to becoming the face of NXT once again. Like, that is a great story and the best way to redeem Johnny Gargano. Unfortunately, I probably think it's going to be Dexter Loomis. And they could do the double turn there, but LA Knight, we already know he's a well-established character. He proved it in Impact Wrestling. So, why go after something that ain't broken? Probably going to be the match of the weekend or the week. Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly in an unsanctioned match. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly has had this really cool story of like the end of the Undisputed Era, who started the Undisputed Era, how it's changed, and how Adam Cole is just a shell of himself. it's a perfect story. And Kyle O'Reilly has been having kick-ass matches with Finn Balor and Pete Dunne. It's a great story and a great match, and I'm excited for this. I'm predicting this match could go either way, but I honestly, just based on how many times Kyle O'Reilly has lost, it's time to give him the win, and then Adam Cole is main roster ready, but I know he's not gonna want to go. That's the problem with NXT. No one wants to go to Raw or SmackDown. No, like they're being fucking selfish. That's the honest truth. Finn Balor left and came back, but and I've made this argument. It would be better if they took NXT serious. If they if it was its own thing, but they from time to time would bring other guys. Like I've suggested Kevin Owens to come on NXT. Andrade could have benefited from it. Aleister Black definitely. Ricochet could have been amazing in the cruiserweight division. So you could bring those guys, but in return, these guys would have to leave as well. I'm sorry, but that's how life works. But yeah, that's how I feel. Adam Cole, honestly, I'd have him leave. I'd honestly have him leave, and then Kyle O'Reilly could run the Undisputed Era now, and they could they could do a team up with Finn Balor and make a brand new stable. That could be great. And speaking of Finn Balor, the main event is Finn Balor versus Karrion Kross. This is an obvious one. Karrion Kross is going over. He never got his rematch. He finally gets it. So yeah, that's my honest opinions. They could be two fun nights. Nothing I'm super excited for, but I'm invested. I'll say this: I'm invested, and I'll definitely check out these shows starting tomorrow. I can't believe it. So I definitely can't wait to see what NXT brings to the table. I can't believe they're calling it Stand and Deliver. They like named it after a fucking movie. Like it's insane. I can't believe they did that. But yeah. So on to rest. Actually, let's talk about the Hall of Fame before I get to anything. I want to look at the Hall of Fame class of 2020 and 2021. Now, Batista was originally going to be on the class, but unfortunately, uh, due to time restrictions, he couldn't do it. And I understand, I respect the man for not wanting to do it. I personally do think that The Rock and John Cena are more deserving of Batista. Not to say that Batista isn't. It's just that the fact that those guys haven't gone in, like, there's a lot of guys that need to go way before Batista does. And not to discredit the guy, but uh, come on, you gotta admit, like, to be fair, Batista still got it. Like, he could still wrestle. I mean, obviously, he would have to wrestle smaller dudes, but there's still more that Batista could be doing, and plus he's a busy man. So, and I think he deserves probably another thing. I honestly believe that Cena and Batista deserve to be in the Hall of Fame together, and because John Cena's not in it, I'd figure, he definitely won't. Uh, I figured like maybe next time they call out Batista, he'll definitely be in with John Cena. That would be great. The two guys who changed the game in the Ruthless Aggression era, that's the perfect way to go with both men going in at the same time. But onto the class of 2020 first. So JBL, I thought he's a great WWE champion, not a great wrestler per se, but he kind of was at the right place at the right time. Um, he made John Cena, but yeah, I wasn't the highest around him. Like I could have thought that, like, ratings wise and money wise, I think they could have gotten another person to be taking over uh, around this time, like as the heel champion. But JBL, he did his job. He made people hate you, and he was very charismatic. He definitely would have been canceled nowadays. He is a bit of a jackass in real life, from what I've seen. Like he made Mauro Ronaldo leave. But the guy does have some strong work, and without him, he would not. There would be no tribute to the troops and all of those events. So, yeah, JBL, the British Bulldog, fucking finally. Personally, I would have just gone out and put in the Dynamite Kid in with him and do the British Bulldogs together. They both deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, but I could understand Davey Boy Smith has done more in his career, and he's rightfully deserving. The man It took forever, but he's finally in it. And if we're not gonna get Owen, we at least need Davey Boy Smith in there. Or David Hart Smith, whatever the hell his name is. I can't keep up with these names. You know who I'm talking about. The British Bulldog main evented SummerSlam with Bret the Hitman Hart for the IC belt. I think that is more ground changing than anything. Jushin Thunder Liger. This is a really cool one. I really like this one. I love Jushin Thunder Liger. He's most deserving. Like, even though he never wrestled in WWE, he wrestled in NXT. But the guy is just a massive legend in Japan and everywhere in the world. He basically was one of the headlines of the cruiserweight division in WCW. He was one of the men that defined uh, this type of style. Like, you wouldn't get guys like Psychosis, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, like those guys without this guy. So kudos to him. The guy rightfully deserves it. Can't wait to see that. The Bella twins. Honestly, I really don't care. I hate that the Hall of Fame puts people in that are still not retired that can still go. That's kind of the only real problem I have with the Bella twins going in. And there is other women that are more deserving to go before the Bella twins. But I really don't mind. They don't harm anyone. They seem to be good people. So yeah, I can't really hate on it. I just wish that if they are gonna go in the Hall of Fame, that they stayed retired. Like, there's no point of like. I hate it when they do that. Like, Kurt Angle is an exception. Um, Goldberg after he came back out of retirement and ruined his career. Like, I don't know, but just please, if the Bellatons are going over, just please stay retired. There's nothing more you can prove. Nikki's the longest running Divas champion. Brie did some good work too, I guess. And they made Total Divas and Total Bell. So there's a lot good that they've done. So it's all good. And finally, from 2020, the New World Order. It's weird who's going in. It's Hogan, Nash, Hall, and Six, aka Sean Waltman, 123 Kid, X-Pac. I know deep down they wanted the Giant, aka the Big Show, to go in, but Paul White went to AEW. No more BS. Personally, I would have just had if they're gonna have the NWO going, just have the three men who define the NWO. Like, there's no reason for Sean Waltman to be inducted as a member of DX and a member of the NWO. Personally, I just have the main three go in. Because if they're gonna do something like add Sean Waltman to it, then you're gonna need to add every member of the NWO. That's just how I see it. So I personally would have just had those three going. Rightfully deserved the NWO. Without NWO, there wouldn't be no WWE. This is the honest truth. Like, they are the reason why WCW was kicking ass, and it inspired or made sure that WWE changed the game and create the Attitude Era. So there's none of that. So there's that. You should know. William Shatner as the celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame. I know he did a segment with Jerry the King Lawler, and I remember him being the Raw guest host. Remember when we had a Raw guest host? Like, William Shatner was in it. I like William Shatner. I'm not the biggest Star Trek fan, but I know friends who are. And William Shatner seems like a really cool guy. Like, I would hang out with the dude. Like, obviously, if we weren't in COVID times, so there's that. And I don't know who's going into the Warrior Award. Titus O'Neil is going into the Warrior Award. He's being inducted. Yes, Titus O'Neil is going into the Hall of Fame before The Rock, John Cena, all of these massive names. But to be fair, he's in the Warrior Award, fine. And I guess he deserves it. It's kind of a random choice, I would say, but yeah, it's just really weird to say that. Like, Titus O'Neil in the Hall of Fame in 2021. It's really weird to say that. Now, what's really weird to see is the class of 2021, because the Great Khali is going into the Hall of Fame. Now, I knew he was going to go into the Hall of Fame one time this year, but I'd expect this fucking years from now, like 2030 or some shit like that, in the year 2035 or some shit like that. But I guess they're trying to promote the Indian market. Trust me, the Great Khali was a spectacle. He was a big name. The problem is that the dude could not wrestle for shit. And he injured a lot of fucking people. So, but I guess he has to go in. Ooh, Ozzy Osbourne is going into the Hall of Fame. He performed in WrestleMania 2. He was part of Raw's Got Talent, that awful segment in 2009 from Raw Guest Hosts. And he even performed from time to time on the WWE. So honestly, if we're not getting Motorhead, we at least deserve Ozzy Osbourne. So congratulations to Ozzy Osbourne, one of my favorites of all time. So Black Sabbath, one of my favorite bands of all time. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a mark for Black Sabbath. RVD, fantastic Grand Slam champion, one of a kind, no pun intended. I'm a little shocked he's still in TNA, but maybe he'll come back and have like one little final run at the WWE. Yeah, absolutely. Rob Van Dam, the heart and soul of ECW, even though he never got to be the world champion during its uh, during its hot times. Like he was the longest running ECW television champion. I remember watching those matches. I wasn't born yet, but I would go back and watch those matches, and they were fucking fantastic. His matches with Sabu, Jerry Lynn, Bam Bam Bigelow. The list goes on and on. The guy was just a fucking massive hit. Love RVD. Um, yeah, RVD, definitely one of the people I grew up watching. Kane, it's gotta be Kane. Grand Slam champion. What truly deserving. Um, so I don't remember meeting Kane physically, but like, or not physically, not meeting Kane. Like I went to a live event and I got to see Kane. I didn't get to like talk to him or anything because he was like taking pictures and stuff. I didn't get to him, unfortunately. But just seeing the guy was like, he was one of the nicest guys in the planet. I could tell you that. The guy is just super cool. He like, yes, you have to stay committed to your character, but he just broke kayfabe. And Glenn Jacobs, if you ever met Glenn Jacobs, if you've been lucky enough to meet Glenn Jacobs, you know that he's a really cool dude. Uh, he overstated his welcome, I'll say that, but Kane is a fantastic person, and rightfully deserving to be in the Hall of Fame. I know people say that Undertaker should go first. Yeah, that's another name that should definitely go in before Titus O'Neil. But the Undertaker, I'm pretty sure he's gonna go in next year. Next year, they're promising that we're gonna have a WrestleMania on Houston, which is, or no, not Houston, Dallas, and I believe Undertaker is from the Texas area, so it makes sense why they would want to wait for the Undertaker. So yeah, if he's not going in this year, he'll definitely go in next year. Eric Bischoff. I knew him from the Ruthless Aggression era. He was fucking fantastic. I know he was good in WCW, but I grew up with him as the Raw general manager, not taking shit from anyone. He was willing to fight Stone Cold Steve Austin even though he knew he was gonna lose. Like this guy had a lot of balls and he was a good fucking GM. Like this is what a lot of people are missing in professional wrestling is characters like Eric Bischoff. He may not be the best head writer, but god damn it, this man could like get some nuclear heel. He was a character. This guy was fucking awesome. I love Eric Bischoff. And then Molly Holly, a two-time WWE Women's Champion and a one-time Hardcore Champion. I knew her more as Mighty Molly with the Hurricane. I personally wish that they had the Hurricane and Mighty Molly going at the same time. That would have been awesome. But I do think that they both deserve to go individually and give their individual speeches. So for that reason alone, I would want to have Molly Holly have her moment, and then the Hurricane down the road have his moment. So that's my thoughts on the Hall of Fame. Not the strongest Hall of Fames, but it's actually a lot of people that I grew up watching, so that's awesome. JBL, Jushin Thunder Liger, the NWO, Kane, RVD, Ozzy Osbourne. Like, this is a pretty solid class. A lot of people that I grew up watching for the good and for the bad, because we had Kali and the Bellas, but that's besides the point. But now on to WrestleMania. So we finally get to talk about WrestleMania. So night one, it's just been announced that we have a tag team turmoil match where the winners will face Nia Jax and Shayna Basler for the women's tag team championships on night two. The tag teams are Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, Naomi and Lana, Natalia and Tamina, and the Riot Squad. My prediction is the Riot Squad. They have been waiting to put the belt on these girls forever. Makes sense that they finally get the spot. And why did they make it a tag team turmoil match? Why didn't they just make it a fatal four-way tag team match? I'd rather make it less complicated because NXT is already having a gauntlet match. This is a turmoil match, same shit. But yeah, I would rather much do a fatal four-way instead. And yeah, I predict that the Riot Squad is gonna win. They deserve it. And I know that people are gonna complain that, oh, how come this got in the card but not Mysterio, the Mysterios, the Street Profits, Dirty Dogs, whatever. I'm glad that these girls in particularly are getting a spotlight, a chance at the spotlight that they may have not gotten over the past years. The Riot Squad, Mandy Rose, Naomi, Natalia, Dana Brooke, even Tamina, like all of these girls deserve a chance to like be more than just on the pre-show in some random ass battle royal. They're giving these girls a shot. Now, please, girls, do not fuck this up. Don't be going on the media like, ha ha, we made the card, not these other people. Like, I swear to God, don't turn into a Britt Baker. That's all I'm asking you for. Seth Rollins versus Cesaro in a one-on-one match. This is super exciting that Cesaro's finally getting a singles push that he rightfully deserves. I've suggested that he should have been fighting for the IC belt. I've suggested that he should have done all this. Who gives a shit? He's getting a singles match against Seth freaking Rollins. Keep in mind, two-time Universal Champion, two-time IC Champion, two-time WWE Champion, multiple-time Tag Team Champion, and the first ever WWE/US champion. So Seth Rollins is a mainstay, and if he's not gonna be on the world title picture or on the IC title picture, might as well help elevate somebody else. So rightfully so, Cesaro's finally getting his redemption that he's been asking for years. So can't complain much about that. I'm predicting Cesaro's gonna win. Seth Rollins doesn't really need it. Like, what's he gonna do with it? Like, look at last year. He fought Kevin Owens, lost, and Seth Rollins was still one of the main talks in the business. So Seth Rollins doesn't need this victory, and I'm pretty sure Seth Rollins will be down to put over his friend Cesaro. And for the love of God, give him back his first name, Antonio Cesaro. That sounds more badass than just Cesaro. That's probably why they don't push him, because it's hard to push a guy with one name, unless your name is Batista or yeah, I'm trying to think of some names. But yeah, Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon in a steel cage match. Honestly, on paper, this sounds like a good match. But the story, like with the Nickelodeon slime, has just been so stupid and really made me give a shit less about these two guys. So, and I don't know who's the heel or the face. I don't know who to root for in this situation. But my guess, I'm going with Braun Strowman because there's no way Braun Strowman is gonna lose to Shane McMahon. Not that Shane McMahon isn't a credible wrestler. It's just last year Braun Strowman squashed Goldberg, so I think naturally Braun Strowman should squash Shane. And maybe, just maybe, we could finally revamp Braun Strowman again, hopefully. New Day versus AJ Styles and Almost. I think everybody knows that it's gonna be AJ Styles and Almost winning. Kofi and Xavier, honestly, they don't need this victory. Personally, I would have Almost destroy Xavier Woods. AJ Styles revamps the tag team belts. And part of the reason why I think he's winning is just so they could say he's a Grand Slam champion. Fine. It's kind of sad that AJ went from retiring the Undertaker or having Undertaker's farewell match to a tag team situation. Like, it's really upsetting. If I had it my way, I would have had AJ win the Royal Rumble and then challenge Finn Balor at this show. But what can you do? My prediction: AJ and almost, and I like I said, I predict that Woods is gonna get squashed, and then Kofi goes on a singles run. Because I think the New Day is overstated its welcome. I think it's time to like slowly kill off the New Day or end the New Day. That's would have been great for business. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz and John Morrison. I've said this countless of times. I don't like Bad Bunny. Oh my god. With that said, the man has gotten a lot of eyes glued to the WWE, going on SNL as the 24/7 champion. You know, he's a big mainstream guy. With that said, I still don't like his music. He has a shitty ass fucking voice. That's the honest truth. I do not like the man's voice. I just can't. I don't understand what the fuck he's saying. No, shut the fuck up. But yeah, I'm respecting that the guy at least is getting um people watching the product. Not a lot, but people are talking about Bad Bunny being here. Even my friends who love Bad Bunny are giving me shit like, look at that, Bad Bunny is on WWE, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm liking that they're pushing Damian Priest, and if a celebrity is gonna win a match, he should at least fight alongside somebody else that could believably beat the opponents. Like, there's a reason why we didn't get Mr. T and Roddy Piper on night one, because naturally Mr. T should be the guy going over, but the guy's never had a match before, so why not put him against the most like babyface of all time, Hulk Hogan? So there's more to that. They should, not drop this opportunity. Next two matches. Now, there's talks that Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre are gonna open the show. I would be okay with that. Honestly, I do not mind that. It would be nice to see a change in the card, having Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre headline. Um, I'm not that excited. Um, for the match simply because we've already seen it before, and I know that's a shitty thing to say. But personally, I would have wanted to see Bobby Lashley lose the U.S. belt at WrestleMania, and then do Drew and Sheamus finish off their feud at WrestleMania. They deserve it. They had a fantastic matches on Raw and Fastlane. But you get what you get. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre have, honestly, they could have a good match, a great match even at best, but it's just kind of weak considering like the past WWE Championship matches we've got over the past few years. And this is no fault to them. It's more fault to WWE for not building these guys up ahead of time. Like, honestly, Bobby Lashley should have been a mega star way before the Hurt Business arrived. And Drew McIntyre, he's been at the best run. And as far as who goes over, this is the one time where I really don't care who wins as long as we get a good match. Because if Bobby Lashley wins, he's gonna be a strong workhorse heel. And if Drew McIntyre wins, he finally gets his big redemption moment that he truly deserves. However, I'm gonna say that Drew McIntyre is going over, but I want Bobby Lashley to be WWE champion once again. Even if he wins it at the next pay-per-view, I don't care. Bobby Lashley deserves to be a multi-time world champion at this point. So hopefully they're smart enough to do something to that extent. Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. People are predicting this to be the main event. Some people say McIntyre and Lashley. I personally, if it were up to me, I would do Bobby and Drew main event because Bobby Lashley and Drew have been wanting this moment all of their lives. And Sasha and Bianca Belair, as much as they do deserve it, Bianca Belair has only been relevant up to now. And Sasha Banks, while a great work piece, it's just been kind of random. Like, someone just said on Twitter, like, we want Bianca versus Sasha, and then little by little it became a big trend, and then we're getting the match. I rightfully think that this match deserves to be on the card. Whether or not it should be on the WrestleMania 1 main event, it's debatable because the story of this match has been horseshit with that I keep forgetting the fucking dude's name, but he's with Nia Jax now. I keep forgetting that fucker's name, but that guy really ruined what could have been a great storyline, which could have been a simple story of yes, I won the Royal Rumble and I want to prove that I'm the best, so I want to take on uh the best, Sasha Banks, and it's a dream match that she wanted to see, and Sasha Banks goes more heel and vicious, and that would have been the best way to go about it, but no, they just kind of went in a really weird direction with this. And it's similar to AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. They're gonna give us a match we want. They're just gonna build it like fucking horseshit. And that's what I hate when WWE does that. When they want to give you something, they'll give it to you. They just won't give two fucks about it. And I hate when WWE does that. I fucking hate when they do that shit. They ruin Nakamura, and I'm pretty scared that they're gonna ruin Bianca Belair. And they really shouldn't. Like, what the fuck did this woman do to you except get people talking? And hell, you could make the argument that Nakamura wasn't the best promo. Bianca Belair is phenomenal on the mic. She's a great wrestler. So why ruin her? Like, what the fuck does she do to you? So please don't ruin her. I beg you, WWE. If you're gonna do this and if you're gonna main event, you better do it right. You better give us a reason to give a shit about this match. I swear to God. Night 2. Nia Jax and Shayna Basler versus the winner of the Women's Tag Team Championship tournament or turmoil. Like I predicted, the Riot Squad is winning that, so I'm guessing the Riot Squad are gonna get their moment here. They've been wanting this moment for a while. I'm pretty sure they've been building that moment of Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan winning once again. How cool would it have been if they win and then Sarah Logan is on ringside and then all three of them stand together? That would have been an epic moment. Hopefully they do that. I want to see that. Yes, Shayna Baszler is gonna be losing another match again after losing to Becky Lynch the previous year, but honestly, I don't give a shit. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, get the fuck out of here. This is a terrible tag team thrown together. I personally, if they were gonna put a bunch of women and a bunch of men randomly thrown in together, just bring back Money in a Bank to WrestleMania, and this is a perfect way to bring it back. Night 1, you could have one of them MITB matches, and then night 2, you have the other one, and then we all win. And now you don't have to cram in everything. Because if I had it my way, I would have those two matches, and the winners of the women would be night 1, and the winner of night 2 would be Big E. Speaking of Big E, let's move on to his match. Big E versus Apollo Cruz. Now, they've had plenty of matches, and each one of them have been decent. They've been all right. Some good more than others, but nothing to be like super excited about. With that said, I'm really excited for this Nigerian drum fight. It's a random name, but I'm confident that these guys are gonna bring it. Apollo Cruz and Big E, I guarantee you they've been honestly the best story going into WrestleMania. This is the honest truth. Apollo Cruz's heel turn has been great. Big E as the big tough baby face. It's been great that the Big E's finally getting the moment that he deserves. I want Big E to win, but if Apollo Cruz wins, I'm also happy. I don't care who wins as long as we get a good match. And it's great to see that Apollo Cruz is finally getting a legit WrestleMania moment. So I'm very excited for that. Who am I predicting to win? See, if Apollo Cruz won at Fastlane and then at WrestleMania he challenged Big E in a Nigerian drum fight, now it would make way more sense and it would make the story way much better. And then have Big E finally win and overcoming the odds. That would have been a great story to tell. Because I think Apollo Cruz deserves to be the IC champion at least one time in his career. And I really wish it should have been at Fastlane. Just even if he was going to drop it for 3 weeks, at least we could say we put the belt on him. And Big E could finally get his big moment. So I'm predicting Big E because I think they have more stock on Big E. And a victory for Big E, a singles victory for Big E, is honestly the best thing they could do for him. He rightfully deserves it. All the hard work he did last year and with the Black Lives Matter and the tribute to Brody Lee, him and Woods, like all the work that the guy's done is very deserving. So I'm going with Big E. Matt Riddle. I don't give a shit. I'm calling him Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle versus Sheamus. This honestly could be a good match. Not a great match, but a solid one. Sheamus is a great wrestler. Well, a good wrestler, not a great wrestler, but and Matt Riddle, he's all right. He's grown to me. Like I always liked Matt Riddle as a wrestler, but the guy just needs to shut the fuck up on Twitter. Um, with that said, I think Sheamus is gonna win. He's probably been the most over he's been in maybe his entire career. So rightfully so, I think give it to Sheamus. And plus, I think Sheamus could do way more. And how about this? How about Sheamus wins the U.S. belt and then Keith Lee returns and he dethrones him? And because I don't want to see Matt Riddle versus Keith Lee. Those are two baby faces that I like. Naturally, one of those has to turn heel, and I don't want either of those to turn heel. So why not have the heel be Sheamus in that scenario? So my pick is Sheamus. I'm not excited for this. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn with Logan Paul. Logan Paul, the guy, I don't know how this guy became famous. Maybe because he's a blonde schmuck. Luckily, the guy is from what I hear, he's cleaning himself up, so I'm excited. I'm glad that he is, if that's true. Hopefully, because the guy, honestly, I can't stand the dude, and I don't know what the hell he's gonna really benefit from this match, but whatever it is, it's gonna happen. Honestly, I'd rather much have this be a squash match. Kevin Owens just squashes Sami Zayn in a couple of minutes. Kevin Owens has honestly done a lot of great work with Roman Reigns. I think he deserves victory more. Sami Zayn is a natural born loser. Not necessarily someone who sucks, but someone who loses a lot. And Sami Zayn has done a lot of fantastic work as a heel. He's good as a babyface, but let's be honest, as a babyface, he was just basically Daniel Bryan 2.0. Him as a heel is basically what Johnny Gargano's trying to be as a heel, but Sami Zayn does it so much better. Like, I don't know how this guy, they never try to make him a heel ever, but damn, this guy does fantastic work as a heel. And Kevin Owens is a face. Like, yeah, I like the match. Honestly, okay, give it 10 minutes. I think it could be a fine match, but realistically, based on how Sami Zayn's been, it should be a squash match, and it could be fun. I'm excited to see what this goes. Logan Paul added to it is like, it's just random. It really is. So, but we'll see. Asuka versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go with Rhea Ripley, and then I believe she's gonna turn heel right afterwards. And then the big redemption story: can Rhea Ripley beat Charlotte? And the answer will be no. Charlotte will go over once again. So I think Rhea Ripley deserves it if she won. Like I feel like the match originally was supposed to be Asuka and Charlotte, but then Charlotte was gone. So Rhea Ripley's the next best choice, I guess. Yeah, I just want a good match. Hopefully it's a good match. Honestly, this match has the potential of stealing night 2 behind the main event. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Rhea Ripley because Asuka has been kind of boring as a champion. Just the honest truth, she just was. I wasn't feeling it, and to be fair, there wasn't that many good contenders to have her face anyway. So that's how I see it. The Fiend versus Randy Orton in a singles match. I thought this was gonna be a cinematic match. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they will make it a cinematic match, but honestly, I really don't care about this match. I just don't. I think the Fiend, after he got set on fire, he should have come back as a brand new character. It doesn't even have to feud with Randy Orton. Um, I would have had that, but I get it. The Fiend is just about revenge against everybody who did him wrong, and I like it. But I think the Fiend overstated its welcome now. I hope after this, no matter who goes over, the Fiend is done and we get a brand new version of Bray Wyatt. That's what Bray Wyatt is good at. I forget the name of the person who plays Bray Wyatt. But the guy is a great creative mind. So whatever happens, please have the Fiend end and do something, change up his character a little bit, just a little bit. Who I predict is gonna win? Yeah, the Fiend. It just looks like naturally the Fiend's gonna go over. Just based on how this has been booked, it just looks like the Fiend's going over. The main event: Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 32.0. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about this match. I I really had to think about this one, like, because from what I hear, Danny Bryan might retire, like, or quietly retire after this. Edge is not going anywhere anytime soon, or he might leave. And then Roman Reigns has been on the best run of his career. And I thought of something very brilliant. What if Edge wins this match and officially makes Edge the top heel once again, the Edge from 2006, 2007, 2008, and so forth. We get that Edge back, and then we make Roman Reigns a babyface once again. I think this is the brightest way to make Roman Reigns the top face of the company once again. I think it's time to finally turn Roman Reigns a babyface, but this is the only way that you could do it. Have Edge win it. Hell, have him pin Daniel Bryan. Roman Reigns can make the argument that he never got pinned, he never really lost the belt, and then we could have like Edge do his cheating tactics, and then we finally do Roman Reigns as the babyface. Because it looks like Daniel Bryan is gonna win this match. I don't think he really needs it. Like I said, there's rumors that he's leaving after this and retiring once and for good. But if we're gonna do this match, just think the unexpected. Have Edge win, and then Roman Reigns comes back as a babyface. And I trust me. Yes, Roman Reigns is a good heel. This is some of the best work he's ever done. But eventually he had to turn babyface. And what better way than to have Edge, the Royal Rumble winner that no one really expected to win, and not necessarily people even wanted, win it. And now you change up Roman Reigns for the first time, and for the first time he properly gets cheered and Edge gets booed. This is honestly, if they do that, I'm excited for this. It's gonna be a good match, regardless. So if Roman Reigns wins, fine, but he'll definitely get booed. And I do like Roman Reigns as a heel, but I want to see him turn babyface again. I think it's time to turn him face again. That's my predictions for WrestleMania 37 and NXT Stand and Deliver, and my thoughts on the Hall of Fame. What do you guys think? It's me, the ALE Double X Prince. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and until then, I'm out.